Hello everyone, I am Barendipitous and welcome to another exciting episode of Pyre. Some exciting revelations last time. Found out that the voice, quote unquote, that we hear from the book and during the rites, the commentator essentially during the rites, used to be one of the Nightwings. And was liberated shortly before Volfred became part of the Nightwings. And so I was troubled by the whole traitor thing, but now that I understand where the voice is coming from, it's clear to me anyway. I'm assuming the quote-unquote traitor is actually Volfred, at least in the voice's eyes. So I'm not worried about who to send up now. It could be anyone. I'm not entirely sure yet. I'll figure that out soon. Once more you have gained the fall of Solium, where one among you may go free. But first, you shall have to prevail against the Essence in the Liberation Rite. Reader, your companions are gathered there, under the fall. They shall be counting on you. Indeed, as the cycle of the rites turns ever faster, so too is our plan set in motion. So we're at 58%, that's pretty good. My agents in the Commonwealth are beginning to cause a bit of a stir out there, and word has reached high places that the rites are ending. This is our chance, though let us not despair should victory elude us here. We shall make the most of whatever the scribes may have in store for us. That is to say, good luck, my boy. It's time. Oh, new Titan star, huh? The Lockhead. Oh. Eladio. The pyres burn, and each of the triumvirates is present and prepared. I concur. The pyres burn, and each of the triumvirates is present and prepared. Then, anointed one of the Essence, come forth now and declare yourself, and pay any respect you have unto your adversaries, the Nightwings. Tamitha swoops down from somewhere and unfastens her mask. I am known as Tamitha Thane. I mean to return to my ancestral home and promptly resume my responsibilities as flight tactician of the Highwing remnants. Our long stalemate against the Commonwealth shall soon be ended, should I and several of my sisters manage to rejoin our clan. Then our vengeance shall be swift and thorough. Your quarrel with the country that cast you into exile is beneath the notice of the scribes, Tamitha Thane. Here you shall be judged under the stars. My quarrel with the Commonwealth is all that gave me and my sisters strength enough to reach this point. The scribes ought well take heed of how my people suffer. We are not weaklings any more like your Triastatithis. We shall not fall in line with flightless fools in their naked attempts to subsume our heritage, our culture. Speak not again thus of the saint, or you shall be expelled, Tamitha Thane. Tamitha scoffs, then turns her attention toward your side. And Nightwings, as for you, the fury we shall imminently show is nothing in comparison to the hatred growing for your Commonwealth in the mountains on the other side. She signals to her sisters to ready themselves. You seek your freedom, but there shall be nothing save for devastation should you manage to return. Nightwings, your decision. On whose behalf you shall conduct the liberation rite? Reader, I would ask you to choose wisely, but I'm sure you know no other way. And you, prepare your song, Tariq. Of course, Celeste. It's interesting that in spite of the kind of like nonsensical babble, Tariq you still hear Celeste So, anyway, who indeed? So, neither of these two, definitely. She's unworthy. It appears I have 3 choices. Honestly, I'm going to go along with like the order in which I met them. I'm going to say Faye. Oh, you mean me? That I get to go home? But the 8 scribes, what if they still want me to stay? We shall lend our support to that one then. Such an honor is it for this knight to strive on behalf of the good Fae. One final obstacle to overcome ere I can soar again above your commonwealth. Such destruction I shall rain upon it soon. But first, let us dance this final time. Dang it! Dang it! As the Liberation Rite continues, you sense Pamitha reaching out to you, or perhaps just reaching out to anyone at all. Reader, someone, please. Let her prevail. Let her prevail, please. Let her prevail here, this once. If this thought makes me a traitor, so be it. But please, let Tamitha prevail, for she is here, wrapped up in all of this because of me. The plea trails off, and Pamitha remains steadfast, all her attention focused on the Liberation Rite. And as for Tamitha, prepare yourselves, Nightwings, and as for you, Pamitha, I await the outcome of this night, for it shall soon ensure that I may never have to see your smirking countenance again. Oh gosh. I don't know. You know what? I'm gonna do my best, but I'm not going to be defeated, like emotionally defeated, if I lose. Dang it. Hark now, my sisters, darn what the book says. Advance to strike formation, prevail there against these wretches, no matter the cost. In disregard for the ways of the Rites, Tamitha Thane has ordered her triumvirate to push further afield, adopting an even more aggressive stance for the remainder of this rite. Oh gosh. What the frick?
Such hatred spewing constantly from Tabitha, unfortunately.
Wow. Okay. Well then. Right, I can push W to block people in the air. Of course. Oh. Okay.
The essence proved their worth. The Night Wings, on the other hand,
Okay.
thus ends the liberation rite. And thus the scribes have chosen. The exile appointed by the essence shall be free, absolved of all misdeeds, return to glory in the Commonwealth. Her adversary and all others shall remain to carry out their rightful sentences.
I can't go home. I can't go home, at least not yet. I cannot go just yet because because the scribes, they want for me to stay with all of you. I guess Faye might not want to go, so maybe I'll choose somebody else next time. Commonwealth fools. How fitting that traditions such as this should spring forth from a culture such as yours. They ought to have put me to the sword, but no. They, in their ignorance and in their smug superiority, deigned reason that those such as I ought to be exiled instead. Here, then, we would live in penitence and learn the error of our ways. She laughs for once, though not with joy. Such utter nonsense. And now they shall receive me open-armed, a champion forged by their precious system, yet shall I use every waking breath to bring them all to ruin. She turns to her fellow sisters of the essence and regards them with respect. Sisters, we may not be bound by blood, but ours is a stronger bond even than that. May we soar together in the stars some day, and I swear to you, the High Wing remnants shall survive. Farewell, sisters. A moment later, she is gone, engulfed within the waters of the Shimmer Pool, yet you hear her voice reverberate for one last time. Farewell, sisters. Accept this, for it is done.
Godspeed, Tabitha Fane. The 8 scribes are watching from afar. By their grace, may the cycle of the rites keep turning for as long as possible.
This land, so rife with eldritch knowledge, long forbidden in the Commonwealth, we learn the stuff of fear itself. That's pretty cool.
Until the rites begin,
Well, Tamitha, I knew full well I never could get back to you the years you spent in exile, and I knew I never could regain your trust. But maybe now at least I can start to live with myself again. Though, how absurd. I might have doomed the Commonwealth, the High Wing remnants and Tamitha alike this night, and yet, once more all I can think of is myself. I need a drink. my guess is that when it all ends, we won't know whether it succeeds because we'll still be down here, but we'll have a percentage for how likely it is for the plan to work, be successful. You want it to be as high as possible. After the liberation rite, you find Pamitha drinking alone. Everyone else seems to be off, doing something equivalent. You're about to leave her be when she looks up at you. That's that then, reader darling. Mission accomplished. Is that what you wish to hear? That my loyalties have all this time rested with Tamitha? You know that is not that simple. Besides, I think I've made plain my intentions from the start. I'm here because of her. She looks up at you then. But I'm still here because of you. She pauses again for a time. I don't know the reasons why we failed that liberation rite. Were the essence simply superior to us, perhaps? But I don't wish to know. And as you can probably detect here, darling, I feel no joy in this outcome. But I feel as though a part of me was liberated there along with Tamitha. So, and I realize this may make little sense right now, but thanks. If nothing else, for being there to help me see this through. She then gestures toward you with her bottle. Commemorate the occasion with Tamitha? Sure, I'll give her company. You accept the bottle, and the two of you drink in silence for a time. Nothing more needs to be said. As the hour grows very late, you excuse yourself and leave her to her thoughts. If Pamitha ever was conflicted in her intentions, you sense that now she is fully committed to the group. She has nothing else to strive for. I guess the voice could have been talking about Pamitha as a traitor. I don't know. We have but a few such liberation rites remaining. Exactly how many I do not wish to speculate about as yet, until such time as we can better say for certain. Under no circumstances would I suggest this is ideal. However, it is opportunity enough that our plan may as yet succeed. 59%, okay. Although, all of these setbacks, I fear. Wolford trails off in false silence. Some of the others exchange looks. They are beginning to understand. With the rite soon ending, everything which Wolford has sought, both on his own for many years, and now with all of you, all of it may have been in vain. The hush spreads to the others. But not to you. You then proceed to do something that none of them seem to expect. You raise your voice. Oh. Each of your fellow exiles turns to you, their expressions asking a question with no easy answer. What are we going to do? As you meet Tizo's gaze, the words for the occasion begin to crystallize in your mind. You are searching to find the right words, as all your fellow exiles are looking to you now. I'd like to hear from them. Oh, so you can find the right words having reached this turning point in your journey. I'll do this one because it focuses on my fellow exiles. Because I said before I want to help my friends. You tell them that you all have stood together time after time throughout this quest, and are now poised to seize upon a glorious opportunity. Oh. Okay. After a brief period of reflection, you share one last sentiment with the group. I really like this one. The stars have not vanished. They have joined us. Thus do you remain together with your thoughts. No one speaks for a time. But then... You see them too then, mister. The scribes among the stars, how they are watching over us. You truly believe that your commonwealth can change its ways then, reader darling? I suppose that I may yet come to believe it too.
Thou wouldst dare to change this ancient world, reading one, and yet thy words are tinged with certain truths.
Vows to stand with you no matter where your quest shall lead. May long the stars remain a light for you, dear reader, sir. All the while Wolford remains watching you intently. Then his expression softens and he smiles. Your light, of course, my boy. We are the Nightwings. It is precisely as you said. The stars have not vanished. They have joined us. Lead us then, reader, to the end of our quest, and the dawn of the new age for all our kin. Everyone, for the Nightwings! Everyone responds in kind. They stand with you no matter what. They await the outcome of your vision of the stars, which burn with renewed fury, because now the last rites beckon. Ooh. The stars above now burn with what appears to be a desperate fury, many more of them than usual. I guess it's all of them, huh? The stars of the 8 scribes. They shine together now as one. The lone minstrel draws breath as though surprised by what he sees. He backs away and averts his eyes. This is another sign of the rites are soon to cease. Few chances yet remain to confront the adversaries you have met during your journey. Let's go against those we haven't gone against in a while. Probably the chastity. Okay. Maybe the fate or the dissidents. 2 more rites until the next one. Here we are. Let's do this. Your next adversaries are to be the Chastity, headed by H. Manly Tinderstaff. They would prevail in the rites not for their freedom, but for fame and fortune in your commonwealth. You and the lone minstrel then go over what he knows of your next adversary. I've been curious about Manly Tinderstaff because Wolford says he's not to be trusted, so what's going on? H. Manly Tinderstaff. Also, I'm excited to voice him again. H. Manly Tinderstaff, the offspring of a semi-famous sap industrialist. He was born into wealth and lived in the lap of luxury, or should I say, the sap of luxury? You're welcome. Never having to fend for himself. When he came of age, he soon was offered cushy ambassador positions that required little more than a silver tongue to convince the Commonwealth that he was keeping busy. He soon grew so proficient at doing nothing much at all that he started spending all his family's riches to assert his fame and status. One day he attempted to pay off the wrong individual, a particularly stern Commonwealth diplomat who promptly turned him in and had him sent downriver. Manly was very disappointed by all this, but soon saw in it an opportunity, for he knew well that in the inner circles, there were those who had gone into exile and returned. Thanks to his connections, he tracked down the Chastity deep in Wakingwood. He finagled his way into the Triumvirate using his well-worn skills. He in turn convinced himself that he would earn a position of great influence. Once he secured a way back to his home, he continues making hollow promises. A shame that this Manly and the Chastity are nothing like the scribe Lusclorian, and do not share his values. Now it is time we rested, reader, given all today's travails. You bid the lone minstrel good night and take your leave. It is too late now to prepare for flight, so you arrange to depart first thing in the morning. There is no time now to return to Moonlight Alcove as before, as the stars already urged you on. Everyone is ready to make haste for the Ridge of Goal. Once again, we're going all the way down. Wolford approaches as you fly above his hidden lair at the Moonlight Alcove. You cannot help but wonder if you shall ever return there. Ah, dear Alcove, I have asked my agents to break down the place. It soon shall be gone, if it isn't already. We shall not be returning. We've not the time to do so anyway. I'm with Warleg back among the living now and no longer fond of me. I dare not think what he would do with it. Unfortunately, hiding places are of little value once they're found. Once all this is over, those of us who do not manage to return, we shall have to find another place to live. To try to live, at least. Your flight takes you near where you breached the past Stormwell into Deathless Tempest. With the climate in downside intensifying, you wonder if the storm has spilled forth from its confines and started to ravage other regions of the land. Let's go here. You and Pamitha spend much of the day searching through the lush overgrowth of hollow root until at last, hey, this is something at least. Shorn crystal. Okay. You find Pamitha by herself again, though her expression has grown darker than her custom. Leave me, would you, reader darling? Trying to get some good and proper moping done here, and you're distracting me. Leave me be, reader. Just leave me be, reader. Just leave me be. You don't want to know what's lurking in my heart or mind. What you'll find there isn't pretty. Yet something about her thought process is different to you now. You know that, with her conditioning, she can resist your scrutiny, but now her thoughts are laid bare to you. Pamitha seems to be inviting you into her thoughts. You remain there in that lonesome space with her. What is it going to take, I wonder, Tamitha? Shall I just go ahead and kill them all? That would be proof enough, perhaps, about my loyalties to you and to our sisters. Perhaps I have to start with this one right in front of me. The bond between you severs as Pamitha opens her eyes and stares at you. Then she smiles sweetly and gives a gentle laugh. You see, reader darling, my thoughts are rather cumbersome at times. But do not fear. I have them very well under control. Still, thoughts being the loathsome thing they are, I nevertheless cannot fully suppress them. She exhales and looks askance. You know by now why I'm in this mess with all of you. You could say I lack Tamitha's sense of commitment, her zeal. She lives only to see your nation overthrown, or something worse if she could have her way. Centuries of conflict can be quite emboldening that way, especially when one's sister's leading cause of death is Commonwealth forged steel. Wielded with the utmost mercy, of course. Well, I had little patience for the senselessness of it myself. Became a bit of a pariah, I suppose. I knew Tamitha was going to get herself and others killed some day, so when she was to fly out on this one big mission of ours, I had other arrangements made. But after she was caught, your people did not exactly uphold their end of the bargain. I knew there were such risks, of course, and yet a chance is still a chance. Tamitha was clipped and cast down. A mercy, they called it. I did not see it that way, and in my growing prospects of her treatment, I was soon enough to follow. Protests of her treatment I was soon enough to follow. She falls silent for a while. I haven't yet decided if I entirely regret my actions, but I do seek Tamitha's forgiveness and wish that she could see my thoughts for what they are, as it seems you can. Then she must realize our nation's people have much more in common than she knows. Sometimes I wonder which of them is the stupider. She brushes past you and out of the wagon for now. What now? Halt! Everyone! I beg you please forgive my rudeness here. The black wagon has shuddered to a stop en route to the ridge of gold. Oh, it's silent now. There is some commotion as the lone minstrel motions for everyone to be still. Someone is there, along our path ahead. He points into the distance. However, when you scan the horizon, everything is still. You see no sign whatsoever of whomsoever the lone minstrel referred to. Still, he indicates caution. Strange. I do not believe I was mistaken. A tense moment passes, then another. Then the lone minstrel tenses up. Our guest. He is here. You look toward where he signals, and then at last you see the cause of his concern. There is no mistaking who it is. Yep. Orlek stands there, near motionless, atop some forgotten rock jutting from the lush overgrowth a fair distance away. He stands directly on the path of your black wagon. Yet he shows no sign of acknowledging the wagon's presence. He appears only to be waiting for something, likely for you all. The lonely minstrel gets your attention quietly. Rita, what do your senses tell you this time? Orlek may have come with ill intent. Let's try. There has to be a way to reason with Orlek and bridge differences between him and his former triumvirate. Perhaps he has come to negotiate. Perhaps you are correct. Let us try and make contact with him then as we proceed. You give the signal for the drive imps to start the wagon and head towards him. But just as you reach the point where Orlek once stood, it seems our guest has already departed. Let us remain watchful as we proceed on course. Instead, Orlek is nowhere to be found now. Huh. The unnerving encounter causes everyone to fall silent for the remainder of the trip. What was that all about? Your wagon finally reaches the ridge of goal, where still there is no sign of Orlek, or your next adversaries for that matter. Your companions organize a quick search about the premises, leaving you to watch the wagon until the rites commencement. This does not bode well. Oh gosh! Something is wrong. Someone is here, alone, with you. Orlek seems to be examining various objects in the wagon. Whether he has noticed you, you cannot tell. What he is doing here and how he got in unnoticed, you cannot imagine. You watch him go about whatever he is doing, examining all sorts of things that you and your fellow exiles gathered on your journey. He shakes his head. All of these trinkets. This wagon. It is most different now. Welcoming, and yet I am unwelcome here, it seems. In my own wagon. He directs his gaze at you, acknowledging your presence for the first time. You, a mere shadow. Tell me something. Who are you to them? I'll be honest with him. You tell him that your role among the Nightwings is as their reader. You've traveled alongside them for some time and bear the book together with the others. You are a fool then, reader. You let them use you willingly. Relay to them a message from me, Shadow. Tell them I shall have my night. He strides right past you toward the door, but then he turns to you again once more. I shall have my night. Then Orlek is gone. What the heck is that all about? Several of your companions return as you exit the wagon. You explain what happened. However, none of them saw Orlek. Most concerning, reader. Though I'm thankful you are well. Orlek. He always was a peaceful individual, and yet his disposition is much different now. Perhaps we had best inspect the wagon for any signs of tampering in light of these events. You and the others conduct an exhaustive search in and around the black wagon for any signs of objects missing or tampered with, as well as signs of damage or foul play. The search yields nothing. No one finds any sign that anything was moved or tampered with. Even the drive imps seem calm. The incident leaves you questioning your own recollection of what happened. You try to clear your mind, for the rites is soon now to commence. Okay, it's always nice to see you guys, honest. And I'm not just saying that because you're customers. Definitely not saying it just because of that. But anyways, go have a look around. That would be useful. But, don't have enough money and... it's fine. That's how you get a repeat customer, they're dead. You give them a deal. Oh, gosh. Well, here we go. Everything is prepared, and night is just beginning to take hold above the lonesome lands of Ridge of Goal, when Volfred gets your attention. Rita, I suppose you might remember your first meeting with that manly Tinderstoff. He would be mortified, of course, if you forgot. I would say that he is an embarrassment to my kind, but unfortunately, I've known many others like him. We are a discontented people, I suppose. Anyway, when last we saw him, you might recall that I avoided him. We are not good acquaintances or anything, but he knows enough people in high places that he could be harmful to our plan, should he know of my involvement, and so... Volfred dons his ritual mask. I shall have to be discreet here. As I am with the Nightwings once again, I can no longer hide from him outright. Perhaps, though, he shall take me for a common sap. Anyhow, it seems to me we have a right to conduct.
Along with his remaining retinue of miscreants. Too bad you failed to rid yourself of the other one last time. Your adversaries, the chastity. As with you, they must be very desperate for their freedom. They shall not make it any easier from here.
My, what have we here? Why, the Nightwings come to grace us with their presence once again. Are you perhaps intent on humiliating us even more after last time? You sense Volfred reaching out to you. Reader, let us indulge him for the time. Perhaps he shall reveal something we can use to provide a disincentive for his meddling. Just let him keep on talking. I shall attempt to remain hidden. And my, the colours of those raiments. I mean, they are rather gaudy in this light, I have to say. Though I mean no offence at this, of course. So, do you suppose the rite is going to commence soon? As much as I enjoy our chats like this, I do have to get going soon. If you must know, why, I'm expecting an important message. From the other side, no less, come dawn. I hear something is brewing out there. Some sort of unrest, So yes, it's a very important message, sent all this way by one of those imp couriers, and I must say, those little things, their services are certainly not cheap. Though, excuse me, though I'm sure that I could get you a good deal on their services if you wish, perhaps to contact a loved one back home, All I ask, of course, is that you stand aside and let the chastity prevail, as well we ought. For I have a date with destiny not long from now, upon the fall of Solium. He continues talking for some time until, at last, the rite is set to start. Oh my, look at this wonderful assembly of exiles come from all different corners. Such a colourful retinue you Nightwings have. You know, I heard the most preposterous rumour about you, that you are harbouring an especially notorious criminal, one who has designs upon the Commonwealth itself. He looks right at Volfred. But I could not imagine such outlandish tales could possibly be true. Anyhow, I so would like to meet everyone here. Hello, good Nightwings, I am H. Manly Tinderstoff, and truly, it is a pleasure to make your acquaintance. Manly has intruded on your privacy as you set to choosing your triumvirate. He could not be less welcome. He seems to be searching for someone in your ranks. Manly seems to respond to behavior similar to his own. You could send him away. I'll respond in kind. You suggest to Manly that perhaps he ought to check on his own triumvirate in the key moments prior to the rite. Why, yes, of course. I was just taking the opportunity to bid all of you salutations, for I so enjoy getting to meet my fellow exiles face to face like this. Yes, there may be rules against this type of thing, but who's counting, am I right? I'm sure the scribes wouldn't mind if they were here. Anyhow, now that you mention it, I have to go check on my wonderful colleagues. See you shortly, and good luck. Manly leaves at last, leaving you to focus on the rite again. Definitely her. Manly. He always reminds me of the kinds of people who are unkind to me. Back home, I mean, not here.
Are you quite ready yet, O Nightwings? I doubt you are, because my colleagues of the Chastity and I, we have a trick or two we think shall take you by surprise. Just watch.
Yeah!
This is... What's going on here?
Now, let's just be reasonable here. You have a golden opportunity and you're throwing it away.
If he's talking about the courier imp thing, we have our own. Like, there's no reason to.
Ah, but we had a deal. This cannot be happening. The party is next week. Everyone, mother, father, what shall they think if I could not attend? Oh, but a good family name. I ask you gently, one last time, Yield, and our victory shall be shared, for I have friends, you know, who can make life more comfortable for you, or stand against me and regret it.
Dang it.
You're just not blocking someone who's flying, so, you know.
No more than a lick of flame remains.
Well, that was dumb. There we are. You don't sound happy about that.
Fire burns whilst that of their adversaries is but ash. The right is
My word! How could this happen? To me! You deceitful, arrogant, utterly uncouth pack of fools! Have you any idea what you've done?
Wolfred watches the outburst in silence.
Keep sprouting like that, Manly, and you shall reveal all we need to know. You are but such a field within your heart there, don't you? Coming from the aristocracy and now in exile, how they must speak of you. What would they think of you if you don't get out? Or even if you do?
Wolfred remains deep in thought, studying his adversary.
There. I see. I see now.
Then Wolfred recedes into shadows.
What? My head? Who? Oh, I believe there must be some mistake. I have to go. Ta-ta. Fine evening to you now. It's been a pleasure. Genuinely so.
Manly stumbles away in a stupor.
And there he goes. I've lifted certain burdens from him, for the time. A bit of mercy for his sake. For my people's sake. As well should ensure he has no lasting memory of our encounter here, or running into me. Now let's be off before he catches up with us again.
He really doesn't like us. Back at the Black Wagon, you find the lone minstrel examining your fellow exiles after they prevailed against the Chastity in a solid performance. It is plain to you that none of them look well. The lone minstrel notices you there and turns to you. Reader, the faster turning of the cycle of the rites has put a strain on everyone. We have multiple cases of banishment sickness this time. Gosh dang it! It is unfortunate that your other companions are available. It is fortunate that your other companions are available to conduct the coming rite, because I feel that this group here requires rest. You bid Pamitha a swift recovery, and she nods weakly in response. You exchange a look with Faye, who seems exhausted after the last rite. As for Tizo, it is clear to you he wishes to be left alone right now. Dang. All of them? You leave the lone minstrel to look after them and turn your attention to the stars that remain shining in the dark outside. Dang. The stars yet shine for you, revealing various paths forward. You gaze into the darkness of night. One right left. I think I'd like to go against the fate. If I can. Unfortunately, I'm not able to. Let's go against the accusers. I see it's time we met again with Lendal and the accusers. We can make for the glade of Lugh at first light, my boy. Let us recover through the night for now. It is too late to do much else. This would be a good place to stop, wouldn't it? Well, thank you very much for watching. All the best.